What's up, y'all? What is up? Here's what I want to ask y'all. I wonder if the folks who are mad at folks like me for talking about that's what's up, Lava. No, that's Laurel. That's what's up, Laurel. Why protest when you can vote? One thing that y'all, not necessarily all y'all, but one thing that so many people fail to grasp is that I am someone who understands that there can be several things true at one time. If you can't understand that, then you're not gonna understand me. So that's it. That's literally it. Like, if you don't understand that several things can be true at one time, you're not going to understand anything that I'm talking about because you don't have the capacity to. So either, Jordy, cut it out. So either expand your capacity or unfollow me. There are people who are saying that they are unhappy with leftists. And my question to you is, if I'm a leftist, then what are you? My other question is, if you and the people who you are against are both against the people like me, you should probably assess what you're actually about. You feel me? You should actually assess what you're about. Like, the comedy of anybody who's a Democrat considering themselves a leftist is just unbelievable to me. And it just speaks again to the constant oversimplification of this nation and the way that people love to run Martin Luther King's words up and through the gamut when they ain't read nothing from him beyond hearing I have a dream. And I promise you, they probably only know I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. I promise you, they haven't even heard the next of it. That's it. That's all they know. In addition to this, there simply is just no way that any of y'all who went to school in the United States and did not continue your learning beyond that should feel confident in what you know. Hey, Rishla. You shouldn't feel confident in what you know. Because you know that they didn't teach you nothing. And no, I'm not going to sit up here on Mark Zuckerberg's Instagram to tell you what the resistance looks like. You guys are flipping ridiculous. Like, do you hear how lost y'all are? You just asked me to do that. Are you an op? Y'all are in a movie. Like, for real. Y'all are in a movie. You think this is like some TV show that you're playing out. That Kiefer Sutherland is going to pop out at any moment. Nonsense. Truly. I can't wait to learn how to throw tarot. I'm a throw down when I learn how to throw tarot. Y'all talking to me about no kings. I'm like, okay, it's not completely pointless, but, and because I said but, I got people on my head. I got people on my head because I said but. Because why? Oh, because y'all want to just feel like you're doing something. And anyone that's not allowing you to feel like you're doing something major is a hater. That's really what it's giving. You just want to feel. It's all feelings. Everything is feelings. And none of y'all are emotionally. Let me not say none of y'all. And none of y'all saying that shit are even emotionally intelligent. Someone just said, I appreciate your butt. This is also a good time for me to tell y'all. And I know we haven't spoken about this in quite some time, but I think it's really important to point out that my booty has gotten big. It has. I know. I know. It used to be a booty on the low, right? And then it was a little pop out. But now I officially have a big booty. I do. I was told this several times in the past 4 days. So I'm in it. I'm in it to win it. I mean, this means nothing because I am very solidly single, but for me, myself and me, I do have a big booty. So if I could figure out how to get this to lay down while keeping this to pop out, oh, woo, man, listen, the streets, okay. I'm saying that as if I will not be right here. When I talk about the streets, I mean the couch. That's what I mean, the couch, okay? I think it's also wildly ableist to suggest that you're not doing anything unless you are out protesting. I think that is so bonkers, mononkers ableist. And then people here saying that I'm denigrating efforts rather than supporting. You see, here's the thing. You want me to support, right? That's always the thing, is wanting me to endorse. And you will never get me to endorse something that I don't wholeheartedly believe in. You want me to endorse something that Hillary Clinton is endorsing? You should be asking yourself, well, why am I endorsing? Why am I about to do something that Hillary Clinton is endorsing? In 2 days, be a part of the largest peaceful protest in modern American history. Join No Kings this Saturday at an event near you to push back on Trump's power grabs and make it clear we don't do monarchs here. Baby, that's a commercial. Okay? That is a commercial. And that's a commercial that was tweeted out by an actual warmonger, by an actual evil person who the other day was on TV with Condoleezza evil person Rice talking about, the Palestinians, they need to just understand that it's not going to be the way they want it. So when you want me to endorse that, you're not going to get it, bro. You're not going to get my endorsement. You're lucky that you got me to say it's not completely pointless. And I said that because I mean that. It isn't completely pointless. People being outside in community is never completely pointless when it's, for the purpose of something positive. However, if it is not for actual advancement, then it is just performance. When people are talking about no kings this and no kings that, I'm telling you, it literally says on their website, the core principle behind all No Kings events is a commitment to nonviolent action and no civil disobedience. We expect all participants to seek to de-escalate any potential confrontation with those who disagree with our values and to act lawfully at these events. Weapons of any kind, including those legally permitted, should not be brought to events, which is fascinating because at a No Kings event, correct me if I'm wrong, but to my understanding, at a No Kings event, a peacekeeper who had a weapon accidentally killed, I think he was Maori, a Pacific Islander, I think, literally killed him and meant to shoot somebody else. Anything that is about obedience is not about change. So I want anyone who is trying to come down on me and be on my neck, and any of you who were about any of these people that y'all love, okay? Because y'all love to shout about Martin Luther King. Dr. Martin Luther King was not obedient. He was just the most obedient at the time. He was not obedient. He was in jail. Hello? He was in the Birmingham jail. And he talked about how liberals care more about obedience than actual change. And thus, there will not be any. Yeah. Where do you see obedience causing change? I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to make that make sense because somehow y'all managed to make it make sense. And I'm trying to get that to understand. And I can't, that does not make any sense. That is a completely nonsensical mindset. These are also available. 11 by 17 Malcolm X prints. Giclée. They are great quality. And they are also available for the Malcolm drop at Amandaland Exports. Okay. So y'all gotta go and check it out. The Malcolm drop, the Brother Malcolm drop at Amandaland Exports. These were all drawn by me. So go to amandalandexports.com and support. So y'all are talking about next steps, general strike, et cetera, et cetera. Are y'all going to pay your federal taxes? The reality is none of y'all want to go to jail. That's really what it is. So let's just cut the shit. None of y'all want to go to jail. None of y'all want to die. And none of y'all want to get beat up. If you have to ask me that, you already missed the point. Dumbass questions. And no, I'm not going to nobody's jail. They will have to kill me. Of course, Paris. Hello. These views for Amandaland pins are available at Amandaland Exports. If you do not watch my show, Views for Amandaland, you should. It's awesome. Why are people protesting now? This is either what you voted for or didn't vote for. That's a stupid mindset. So some of y'all are dumb. And it's the fact that you say things so confidently that makes me tell you that. You don't want me to tell you you're dumb, but you're dumb. Because in 2025, the year of our Lord, we are now in October 2025, and you're still talking about this election as if it was legit. And talking about, well, y'all voted for this. So anyone saying some dumb shit like that at this point is really just ridiculous. Come on now. Like, when do we get smarter? When do we do that? When do we get smarter? Like, if you saw my last couple videos, it's like, I got smarter. And it wasn't by accident. Okay? It wasn't like I just stumbled upon things. No, I made myself learn. I got rigorous about my learning. I absorbed documentaries and listened to books and watched videos and diversified my content that I was listening to and receiving. I read all types of things. I didn't just read books. I read like the 1965 Voting Rights Act. Like, I bought the actual act and read it. Like it's not like this shit is just going to come to you through osmosis. So when we talk about this no king stuff, again, you know, good for you if you went. But it is absolutely ridiculous to, yes, I am belittling efforts to resist that are not actually resistance. Yes, I'm going to belittle that. Yes, I'm going to belittle that. The fact that you think going to a protest that is supported by Hillary Clinton is resistance tells me everything I need to know about you. If the ruling class is supporting the thing you're doing, it's not resistance. I was asked to say it louder for the people in the back. If the ruling class is supporting and promoting the thing that you're doing, it's not resistance. Her husband had an entire relationship, a sexual relationship, because yes, putting a hand in somebody is sexual, with his intern. And the intern was criminalized, was vilified. The intern, the 21-year-old intern was vilified. Now, some have said she was a Mossad agent. I don't know. But I'll tell you what, if we're acting like there haven't been kings as presidents in this nation for its entire duration, we're bugging. The Democrats aren't talking about no kings because they just want them to be the kings. Like, what are we talking about? I know. What's her name? It's Jenny J. They are absolutely still falling for that. That there are sides to our government. Oh my God. It's like people who think that like the NBA is like a real rivalry. And it's like, no, they're sports teams. This is entertainment. Okay? Then they go and do the All-Star game and they play together. Because this is all entertainment. People were attacked and arrested today. Where? I ain't seen nothing about that. I haven't seen anything about people being attacked and arrested at a No Kings protest. How about you get off your phone instead of telling us to get off our phone? The ICE agents attacked peaceful protesters in Portland. Were the protesters a part of No Kings? Look at P. Travis. Says, I was attacked by cops several months ago with a few others after staying past the No Kings rally. That should tell you everything. That should tell you everything. The bottom line is, if the ruling class is telling you we support this and don't act up, that's all you should need to know. And if you're telling me it's after the rally, then literally the cops were paid or whatever to not do shit for a particular amount of time. And anything after that was open season. So don't ask me about why I'm denigrating or whatever, because I wasn't even denigrating. But oh my God. The true resistance is happening on your phone every time that you see people in the streets facing ICE dead on. The true resistance is happening every time you see people like Code Pink up in the halls of the Cannon Building and on Capitol Hill going to these Congress people every day in their face and challenging them. The true resistance is also seen in your neighborhoods and in your communities where people are doing things like Food Not Bombs and other mutual aid programs that ideally are supposed to help when you guys end up participating in true resistance. Because when you end up participating in true resistance, what ends up happening is you lose jobs, you lose friends, you may lose housing, etc., etc. And community ends up being the only means for actually existing. We haven't even seen when people really need support, because we haven't seen true resistance, because we haven't seen a true dearth of the comfortability that they have lulled you into. And it's going to happen very soon, because that big ugly bill is about to land on y'all's big ugly heads. And then it's going to be on. Everybody losing their job. People are going to end up turning to crime. This is how it is. Crimes of necessity. Crimes of necessity. And you're going to see poor. You're going to see an even greater level of poorness being criminalized. And then what are we going to do? Where is the true resistance? That tells me everything I need to know. The true resistance is not going to be advertised. Please. You got this man over here. He's killed a total of 27 Venezuelans. 27 people in boats in Venezuela. Do you understand how many people that is to do extrajudicial killings of in international waters? I only know what I read on the news. Do you think all news is created equal? Do you think all news is created equal? Who are you talking to? You see what I deal with, y'all? Do you see what I'm dealing with? Like I'm sitting here watching CNN. You saw a shout out for me in the Perfect Neighbor documentary? What is the perfect neighbor? Oh, that's a documentary about the mother in Florida who was shot through the door. There was a shout out for me. I mean, maybe because I talked about it immediately and built awareness of it, and I was a part of a whole group of women who were working to do that. So I'm making these, but you can get your Malcolm X pins, your Brother Malcolm pins that I designed at Amandaland Exports. And these pins are a part of my series from my book, What Would the Ancestors Say? Now, the first pin I dropped was Harriet Tubman on the phone with her pistol. This pin is Brother Malcolm in that iconic image where he was defending himself against people who were, coming after him. And he was looking out the window holding that rifle. However, in this image, he is also holding a brick phone. Because I believe that our ancestors are on the line. I believe that our ancestors are waiting for us to reach out to them. It's an open line of communication. Oh, you got to get blocked. A motherfucker named Truth Be Told telling me about I get emotional over politics. I don't know who you people think you're talking to. At some point, you'll realize that I am not some internet influencer. This is just the medium that's available. Passion 41. Okay, when I see them, I'll block them. So, does anyone have any questions? Oh, you're welcome. Shout out to Southeast Asia. Where exactly in Southeast Asia are you? Thank you. J'ai Couteau Creative. Merci beaucoup. Stop eating that. Don't eat that. Stop it. I'm not telling you the answer to that. How many pins do I have now? That's a great question. I don't know. How do we raise the kids to know more? Where do we start? Well, there's so many books. There's so many young people books. Go to Howard Zinn's website. Howard Zinn's website is a great resource of social justice books for kids of all ages. Thank you, Kimmy. We also got Malcolm Magnets. So that's the Malcolm pin. We've also got Malcolm prints available. And we also have bonus bundles with the Malcolm pin, sticker set, the magnet, and the big ass sticker. What do I do? How do I see myself as relevant in this movement? Stop asking me the same question over and over again about SNCC. I don't. Well, baby, I'm not doing touring. I'm not doing stand-up. But I will be on a book tour shortly. So make sure to go to Amandaseales.com and follow my newsletter so that you can be on point for when I come to your city. Smart Funny and Black lapel pins are back. They're available all the time in the store. No, I haven't read in either of those books. I am planning to come to Seattle. I just talked to my boy yesterday about that. What would you like to have? Who would you like to have on Views from Amandaland? Bob Villain. Mossab Abu Toha. Muhammad Al-Kurd. I'd like to have hold on. Chris Hedges. The minister. Oh my God, this won't come off me. But to be quite honest, I really am very fortunate because I get to have like really awesome folks on my podcast. I mean, on Views for Amandaland, that are doing like the work that a lot of people feel like needs to be done. And they're like, oh, people are already doing this work. Yes. And you can go join them. And so like that to me is like the best part of Views for Amandaland. It gives me the opportunity to really platform people who are of the people and are already like living, like doing for the people. And I think so many folks are very tenuous about like, not tenuous is not even the word, but they're very like, oh, I don't even know where I would get started. And it's like, you don't need to get started. Like someone's already started this. Well, Abby Martin just did she's literally on Small Doses, my podcast this week. So you can check her out on Small Doses podcast this week, like literally right now. She said, I recommend it all the time. Exactly. Whatever happened to Mansoor? I don't know. I mean, he's alive. I see him talking stuff, but he made it out of Lessa and he, probably just got back to life. He has kids and stuff. As for Hillary, no king's legitimacy isn't measured by who stands near it, but who it's willing to confront. It's willing to confront no one. Like how you can bend your body a million ways to make this into something, but it's not what you're trying to make it into. And it's fine if you are acknowledging it to be what it actually is. But it's the fact that you're trying to call it something else. That's the part that always messes with me about folks. It's like when Biden was the presidential candidate and people were like, he's a good man. It's like, well, no, he's not. He's actually a piece of shit. But if he is the only other option, then so be it. Let's just call him the only other option. Instead, though, people want to try and paint this false narrative of somebody that doesn't exist. It's the same with Kamala Harris. If she was the only other option, so be it. But trying to paint her as some leader or some visionary is completely not supported by any of her actions or her words. She doesn't lead anyone to do anything. She comes to places where she is paid to come to present people with platitudes about sticking together and being in community. That's it. She wrote an entire book where she did not take any responsibility for her own actions as a grown-ass woman and the vice president of the United States. So it's like, why can't it just be what it is? Well, I can tell you that being a good person starts with not supporting and lying about a genocide in order to make it happen. That's a very easy way to define someone who's not a good person. I don't know why I needed to give you a framework for that, but that's a pretty good, solid jumping off point. So that's my annoyance. It's like, no kings, fine. There's controlled opposition gatherings that are different in different states and that are seeking peaceful protests, which is literally contradictory. But okay, like it's a gathering space. Okay. It can be a tool for people who are actually organizing to meet others and bring them into spaces that are doing like actual mobilizing. Okay. But if we want to sit here and act as if you're going to get like the truth at No Kings rallies from the individuals or from the organizations that are running them, that's just nonsensical. It's Democrat and Zionist organizations that are running the rallies. They are literally putting people out who have pro-Palestine signs. What are we doing? So if you want to call it a community gathering, fine. That's what it could be. Someone just asked me, Amanda, who do you see being president one day? I don't see presidents. Well, I'm glad that at your No Kings rally, you were not stopped for having Palestinian signs, because people have been stopped. Y'all just really want to, I don't know why you're sticking up for a rally. Like, that's the other part of it for me that's like weird. Like, there's so little realness to stand for that folks are literally like, why are you picking on our rally? Why are you picking on our rally? You're mean. Quit picking on our rally. Stop talking about us. I had a white woman in my comments say, someone said, because we're showing solidarity. For who? Who are you showing solidarity for? Who do you think you're showing solidarity for at the No Kings rally on a Saturday afternoon? Who? Who do you think you're showing solidarity for? This is what I mean. These are the lies that y'all tell yourselves to make you think you're doing something. Who the fuck do you think you're showing solidarity for at a 2-hour rally? This is what I mean. Call it what it is, but don't make it what it ain't. I can promise you that the anti-Trump people in small town Tennessee, you doing a 2-hour rally, I doubt that really has any impact on their life, on their experience and the life that they're living. And I promise you there's probably more effective ways to show your solidarity. So then that makes sense. The person you said, I went because I wanted to scream with people. All right. Like, call it what it is, bro. Call it what it is. Mind you, these are urgent times. These are urgent times. And I want you to know, all these rallies is just a lead up to an election. That's it. That's what these rallies are. Because what's going to start happening, if it hasn't already, is that candidates are going to start appearing at these rallies. That's what's coming. Candidates are going to start appearing at these rallies because they're going to make this about elections. And I can promise you that an election is not going to stop what's happening, because these people are not going to let an election stop what's happening. They're talking about, feel free to register. Now you're on a list. And if you think that list is not going to be asking you for donations, why, I tell you. Oh, so see that if the Democratic wait, y'all are telling me that Elizabeth Warren, Waltz, and all of these people were there? Lord have mercy. Stop asking me the same fucking question over and over and over again. I hate when y'all do that. Someone said, are you shaming people for attending? I'm shaming people who have an issue with me calling it what it is. I'm shaming people who think they attended a resistance protest. Okay? Because y'all think anything is called shaming that isn't praising you and patting you on your back and rubbing your stomach and whispering sweet nothings into your ear. So call it shaming if that's what you need. Someone told me that I am, what do they call me today? They said I'm slamming. They said I'm slamming people for going to the No Kings protest. When really what this is bots, because the Democrats always send bots after me. Like right now, I can tell that there's a whole new bot movement of black men bots, right? So these are all bots that are dressed up as black men. And their narrative right now is, why don't you run for president? Or why don't you run? That's their narrative. So anytime I get like a message that is like coming at me from like at least 7 different people at one time, I'm like, oh, it's a new bot message. They had their staff meeting, and some ideas were thrown up on the board, and they decided that's what we're gonna go with this week. Exactly, Triple Z. People felt empowered today. To do what? People felt empowered to do what? Empowered to do what? You know, there's always a white girl who's going to feel compelled to be challenging something, mind you. So people felt empowered to do what? I'm waiting for the answer. So there we go, Jonathan Ellison. Because if you go to a rally on Saturday and you sit there they felt empowered to connect with their community. What does that mean? That's so generic. Okay, they felt empowered to connect with their community. In what ways? In what ways? Your community been here the whole time. Your community been here the whole time. So in what ways are you connecting with your community? And I want to point this out to y'all, like, connecting with your community has like it looks like a lot of different things. I don't think connecting with community has to always be being a part of an organization. Okay? I think connecting with community can also be teaching in your community. It can also be coaching in your community. I think it can also be, sharing like food that you've grown in your community. I think connecting in your community can look a lot of different ways. A lot of different ways. So I want to know what connecting, people felt empowered to connect with their community. In what way? Or ways? Same, Mary. I'm the same way. I'm the same way. Power in numbers for when we revolt. It's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. Since when? Why doesn't it happen overnight? Because, attacks happen overnight. Did you know that? Yeah, that's what happens. It happens overnight. It doesn't, because what's happening right now is a buildup to something that's going to happen overnight. Like on October 6th, Gazans lived one way. And then on October 7th, they lived a whole other way. So when y'all come with this whole, things take time. Yeah, that's not like a real necessity. Not everything has to take a bunch of time. Ask lesbians. They be getting in a relationship for 2 years after a dance on a dance floor. Okay. I don't know why this person is here arguing with me. You're not going to change my mind about what I know. Yes, not totally said. Shit moves fast. Honestly, whoever this person is, Drew Jin, you are beneath my intellectual level. And you're speaking to me as if you're on my level. And you're not. And so you're not going to get a response from me that honors your curiosity, because you're not coming at me correctly. You're coming at me as if I need to convince you of something. And I don't need to convince you of anything. I don't care what you think. Anytime y'all come at me you need me to convince you of something, or I owe you an explanation, it is really offensive. It's greatly offensive. If you want to get my opinion on something, or you want to ask for my insight, I understand that and I respect that. And I have earned the respect of that. But when you come on here we're not doing that. This is not a debate. This is, well, you need to write better. Because the way that you're coming at me right now is reading really funny style on this damn chat. Hold on, let me block this person. That's exactly what it means. That's exactly what it means. Commit national suicide. That word, those two words sound really scary to people. But that is what it means. Kill your nationalism. Well, then, Sister Act 2, stop talking like you are. Because the way you talking is like that's what you think. So if that's not what you think, then quit pushing back on me as if I'm saying something otherwise. I said that the No Kings protests are not completely pointless. However, they are not acts of resistance, and they will not enact the change needed for this country to actually serve the people. That's it. That's all I'm saying. They are rallies for people to come together. Hey, Angel. Angel's in the chat. She gonna get y'all together. Actually, I could take a break because she gonna get y'all all the way together. She gonna get y'all all the way together right now. She already came in swinging. Bop. Performative. Angel was in here for 1.2 seconds and done already came for y'all heads. Well, again, we're talking about the No Kings protest as a brand, not as an individual. Leftists should use the space to educate liberals. Is that really that's what I'm supposed to be doing with my time? Is educating liberals? I educate those who want to be educated. When you go to a protest, you need to look at who's involved in this protest. Are there sponsors for this protest? Is there corporate presence at this protest? Are there what are the organizations on this banner? What is this? Because these are the types of things that let you know what this protest is really about. Because you're just a body. Right? You're just a body that's pushing an agenda. And you can typically, what did Angela Rye say about Mark? Sorry, that got me sidetracked. I was like, wait, what? What did Angela Rye say about Mark Lamont Hill? Yes, you are just a body. You are a body at a No Kings protest. At any protest, you're a body. That's the point. I'm selling the Malcolm pins. And these are the views from Amandaland pins from my show on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Eastern on YouTube, Amandaseales TV. And these are the Malcolm prints. Why would Angela be talking about Mark? I don't like when people who know people talk about them as content. I don't like that. Mark can do whatever the fuck Mark want to do. If Mark want to be on that podcast, he has a reason for why he wants to be there. And it ain't for you or anybody else to judge. That is not a dumb man. And he is very vested in his community. Who is she to say that? Who is Angela Rye to say where Mark Lamont Hill need to be? Don't get me started. Yes, I did paint this Malcolm piece. You did see some cat paws on the print. It's 11:23. I need to go to bed. I need to eat my night cheese and go to bed. Oh, okay. They said she didn't say anything in a bad way. Someone brought up the subject. You see how I dealt with it when someone brought up the subject. Listen, Mark's bookstore, Uncle Bobby's, literally shares a sweatshirt. I mean, sells a sweatshirt that says, "Don't let the degrees fool you." Like, I don't know why people think that because someone is an academic that they're going to let you sun them. Like, nobody's going to sun me, bro. The last person that tried to sun me, an entire community had to get between us. Okay? Ask Kimmy. She here. You know, and some people might say, well, you know, you don't need to be. I don't like that. A Gouda. It's an old Amsterdam Gouda. Ooh, we 12 hours. Kimmy said, facts. See? Kimmy was like, whoa. So let's not talk about like trying to sun academics. What's up with the cheese? Man, cheese brings me so much joy. Like, I love, like, at night when I get cozy in the bed and I just have my little cheese and I start to nibbling. Because I definitely eat like a bird. And I ration that cheese. Fight for your life. I'm sorry. I'm going to do this for 4 more minutes. So, anywho, my favorite type of cheese, my favorite cheese of all time is Dubliner cheddar. But it's just like, if I eat Dubliner cheddar the way I want to eat Dubliner cheddar, I just feel like I would really gain weight to an unhealthy point. And so, you know, I have a lot of body positivity, even though I've expanded to a size large. Nonetheless, at a certain point, it becomes like, okay, now you're not healthy, Amanda. Cholesterol is a real thing at this age, and I can't play with that. What do I say to people who say we need to remain peaceful, not violent? I say, do you want to remain in bondage? You know what I say? I say, so is what they're doing to us, why is the same thing they're doing to us the same thing as we would do to them? Why is it called the same thing? Does that make sense to you? And all of this is just theory. We're all just sitting here talking. You know, like these students in Bosnia, they've been on the front line for like 10 months now. Waking up every day. America looks so flipping whack right now and corny. And then y'all be mad at me for telling folks you look whack and corny. And you don't look whack and corny for going to the No Kings protest. You look whack and corny for thinking that the No Kings protest is an act of resistance. That's the whack and corny part. Do you understand what I'm saying? Serbia. That's the issue. So again, my messaging is nonstop. Again, my messaging is constantly, you know, misinterpreted, misappropriated, etc. But that is what my point is. My point is that if you are calling these protests resistance, you are misappropriating them. Now, again, like someone on here was saying, well, we were in a small town in Tennessee and there were a lot of anti-Trumpers. There's always anomalies. You know what I mean? There's always anomalies in everything. In everything, there's always anomalies. That is an anomaly. One instance out of over what? I think there was like damn near 100, right? That would be considered an anomaly. Thank you, the Lauren AI. They said that my Patreon is the best $5 they've ever spent. I don't know why I'm not seeing more purchases for my Malcolm pins while we're sitting on here, because the Malcolm pins is that girl. But I understand you might be saving up your money because you want to watch the live stream of What Would the Ancestors Say, or you want to buy the book for What Would the Ancestors Say. I get it. I get it. I got things for y'all to purchase coming up. So I respect it. I respect it. But the Malcolm drop is available right now. And I'm really proud of it. And I'm going to keep on talking about it. And I am on Substack. Yes, I have many upcoming projects. My book, What Would the Ancestors Say, will be out on November 8th. The same day as my live stream of the show, What Would the Ancestors Say, live from Los Angeles. So we've been having some issues with Eventbrite. To my understanding, Eventbrite has been known for like causing issues for pro-Palestine creators. And so we are looking for an alternative ticket base because it is giving us issues. And we are like, oh, nope, we're not going through that again. So yeah, we got to figure something else out. So that's why it's always a struggle. Hey, Miss Debbie. Yes, we will be selling tickets for in-person in LA. Thank you, Mary JT. Yeah, Mia. Like, people are trying to buy the tickets and everybody's cards are getting declined and saying that it won't purchase. So we have to find an alternative site. So sit tight. And you know, we're gonna get it going. I hope that we can get y'all. Now, I'm going to start doing on Monday, we're going to get back to doing our What Would Your Ancestors Say series here on my Instagram, where people will be, able to come on and share about their ancestors, their ancestry, what they think of their ancestors would do, or how they feel their ancestors think about today, you know? So you said Posh seems to be on the up and coming for ticket sales. Okay, I'll look at Posh. Yeah, we got it. We literally have to get it fixed tomorrow. I'm hoping that I can just do it through my Shopify. So we'll see. So, okay, when we talk about the oppressor's tools and violence, I want to point something out. The way that oppressors enact violence is not the same that resistance groups enact violence. As we have seen in history over and over and over again, when oppressors enact violence, it targets individuals who are for the support and the protection of the people at large. It is also targeting individuals and organizations that support the resources that the oppressor wants to steal. And it also is indiscriminate in attacking large swaths of people to enact fear as suppression. That is how the oppressor uses violence. Resistance does not enact violence in the same way. It can't. Because it's not even in the same vantage point. It's not even coming from the same vantage point. So it's literally not able to enact violence in the same way. So when we use this word violence, it shouldn't even be applied to the relationship between an oppressor and the oppressed, because it is a completely different word based on the unique contexts of the groups that are attached. Is it violence if your husband has been beating your ass for years and then you murk him? Some would say yes. I disagree. I disagree. And some would say, well, it's just semantics. Well, we are a communicative species. And that ability to communicate is literally what has been the thing that we have used to define us as different for this amount of time. So if we're not using if we're not calling out the unique use of semantics, then baby, we're actually missing the boat. Really? Oh, wow, Angel. Angel is using my show in her keynotes. I will be speaking as a part of a resistance teach-in on the mall in DC on October 26th with a bunch of other dope professors. I feel so honored to be in their company and being alongside them. So make sure that you come out and check this out. Also, remember, you can get your Malcolm X goodies because they are available. So your Brother Malcolm, the Brother Malcolm drop is here. And I hope that you guys will support. Go to amandalandexports.com. As you can see, I'm here putting together orders from the last drop, which was the Views from Amanda Land drop. And people got notebooks, and the notebooks are still available. So, you know, if you're not watching my show, Views from Amanda Land, on Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, you're missing out. We've got a dope community there. And then after the show, we head on over to Patreon, and the community continues their conversations off the chat, but on a Zoom. And that's been really cool because they get to interact with each other and just really be able to break down not only what goes on in the show, but what's going on in their own communities. And I think it's been really cool to be able to Laurel, can they all be shipped together? You mean so that you don't have to pay for shipping twice? Send me an email of what you want. And I'll set up an order for you. Like, send me a customer service email with what you want, and I'll set up an order for you. You're welcome. All right, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I got 8 more pins. So if anyone has any questions, this is the time, because once I'm done with these 8, I'm laying it down. I'm going to sleep. Oh, wow, the Lauren AI. Thank you so much. Lauren AI upgraded their Patreon membership. That's what's up. Thank you. I had 7 people cancel their Patreon membership today, and I couldn't help but think it's because they felt some type of way that I had, undervalued to many people's feelings, that I had undervalued the No Kings protest. No, I did not protest today. I was on a plane today. Did I protest today? You didn't protest today. You didn't protest today. How about that? Were you in community? Yes. What's my take on the diaspora? Where do we belong? Where does who belong? You're welcome. Thank you for, I'm learning about Sudan. B Sharp 86. Oh, the lady doth protest too much. Is that Tempest of the Shrew? Miss Debbie was there. She said we did not protest today. She said she had a good time, right? She was with folks and she met folks and, you know, connected with other organizations. However, someone just asked, how are these rallies different from BLM? Is that a genuine question? Before I need to ask, I need to find out first if you're being facetious. It is Taming of the Shrew. Okay. Did I say Tempest of the Shrew? I'm tired. It is the Taming of the Shrew. The lady does protest too much. I love that folks wore my my fascists are not your friends shirt to the events today. 2 members of the SEAL squad said they wore my fascists are not your friends shirt today, and that made me feel really proud, because when we had the designers from For Your Viewing Pleasure, it's a great clothing line on Views for Amandaland, you know, we were talking about how these days clothing is no longer a billboard. Remember, it used to be a billboard. Like, you would have these brand names just across your shirt, just like Tommy Hilfiger. And now your shirt is a walking protest sign. And so I felt so proud to have made protest sign shirts for folks. Thank you, Kimmy. Like, if you have to ask how are these protests different from BLM, I'm very confused as to what BLM you're referring to. It can't be the Black Lives Matter protests. That must not be what you're talking about. It must be like Barbie loves men protest or something. I don't know. But the BLM protests were vicious. Mystery says they got shot at. Well, then ask about efficacy. I think the BLM protests were effective to an extent, in that they enacted immediate change on an economic level, in the fact that, like, you saw all these companies feel compelled to have to do black things. However, it didn't enact consistent change, and Claudia de la Cruz talks about this a lot, because it did not form organizations that remained grounded and multifaceted. So, you know, like the Panthers is a really good kind of model for that, right? Like, for an organization that is multifaceted, that has factions across the nation, and the BLM movement ended up getting very quickly dissolved because it very quickly allowed for money to be involved in a major, major way. And the people that were handling it were not responsible. So that's just like one organization, but in general, BLM ended up not being effective, mainly I think because we had COVID going on, and then once the Juneteenth holiday was put in place, it kind of like pacified people, and even though people were angry, it wasn't able to be channeled into both a grassroots and political movement. And when I say political movement, I don't necessarily mean on a electoral level. I do mean, however, on a local level, there's still, the trust in government and a two-party system, etc. Hey, Tasir. So, Sugar B, BLM got hijacked because we tried to be all-inclusive. I think BLM got hijacked because it's not about being all-inclusive with race. I think it was being all-inclusive with class. And at the end of the day, you cannot fight a capitalist model with a capitalist model. You can't. So, it's Gouda. And that's really what ends up at the end of the day being like the distinction between grassroots and these other organizations, because a grassroots model is, the BLM movement was a worthy movement in the fact that it had very specific demands. The demands were not met, but it was actual resistance that actually did elevate a fringe group and their cause on an international level. And I think that where you're going with this is trying to somehow relate the Black Lives Matter movement against police violence, state-sanctioned violence. You're trying to relate that to the No Kings movement. And the No Kings movement is not a movement. Because it doesn't have demands. It's just saying that Donald Trump is doing too much. I mean, that's literally what it says on their website. Donald Trump is doing too much. I mean, it's not literally those words, but that is the crux. It's saying, we don't like this. It's gone too far. There's Black Lives Matter Global and Black Lives Matter Grassroots. BLM Grassroots is its own organization that does do work within the community, that has chapters around the world, and that does not have a white supremacist model. However, the other BLM is a bougie black organization that essentially partners with other organizations of establishment to push Black excellence. And I, for one, believe that the concept of Black excellence is very deeply connected to pacifism. And when I did an interview with an ex-member of the original Black Lives Matter who was saying that this other version allegedly stole it from them, I got a letter from a lawyer that was not even Black, from a Jewish lawyer who was threatening me with suing me for interviewing this person. And I was like, is this for real? Someone asked, where do you belong? I don't know, love. I stopped trying to belong a long time ago. That's why I got 5 cats and a dog. I belong with them. And I belong with y'all. What are you doing? Mando. Did you see that, Marie? Mando, I've never seen you do that before. You getting real feral. All right, y'all. This has been real. And remember, head on over to Amandaland Exports and support my art. You can get the Brother Malcolm pin. You can also get the Brother Malcolm print. You can also get your views from Amandaland. You can get your views from Amandaland notebook. Where's the notebook? Oh. You can get your views from Amandaland notebook with your word of the day logbook. Okay. It also comes with a sticker sheet of notebook tabs so that you can separate your note sections. If you get the bonus bundle, you get all of this and the Amandalander button. Yeah, I'm out of the fascist shirts. So, who the fuck are you talking to? Add me to the live. I want to chat about the social climate. Who are you? You're not even asking to be added. Then they gave me a demand. I'm going to sleep. Good night, y'all. Yes, mulatto vibes. You can go to Smart Funny and Black. The Smart Funny and Black pins are in stock. Are they not? Hold on. Oops. I need to check on these things more often. Yes, the Smart Funny and Black lapel pins. There you go. Boom. Smart Funding Back lapel pins are back in stock. Good night.